call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. I want to acknowledge that we're in Treaty 1 territory and the land on which we are meeting is the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Red River Métis Nation. As a council and a municipality, we will continue to work on moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. I'll ask for a motion for the adoption of the minutes, please.
Resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held at City Hall on January 26, 2026 be adopted as circulated.
Moved by Councillor Meyer, seconded by Councillor Espy. All those in favor? And that is carried. We have no delegations this evening. I'll move to open public hearing, request for variation PC 1-26 Melco Developments. I'll ask if anyone is here to speak in favor of this application. Again, anyone to speak in favor? I'll ask if anyone's here to speak opposed to this application. Again, anyone opposed to this application? Okay, I'll ask for a motion to close the public hearing. Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. Be resolved, and I so move that the public hearing for variation PC 1-26 Melco Developments Limited at 14 and 18 Sharon Place now be closed.
Moved by Councillor Meyer, seconded by Councillor Porter. All those in favor? That is carried. Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. In front of you, you've got a request for variation. This is a request that was approved back in, I'm not sure exactly, back in 2023, and extensions had been applied. This is now, but they had lapsed, and this is a reapplication in its entirety. There's been no real changes since then, and the issue is to vary the front yard requirement of 7.5 meters down to 6 meters to allow for a uniform look in a subdivision and to have larger rear yards. Site plan is there for your information, as well as the sketch. And as the background indicates, Melco Developments is applying for this variation. It is in a R1, a residential single-family zone, and you can see where the minute references were there for the past approvals and where it had lapsed. The application had been circulated to various city departments. There were no concerns, and public notices have been sent to all property owners within a 100-meter radius, and as you can see, there is no objections. So it's the administrative recommendation, and I so move that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approve the variation request of Melco Developments Limited to vary the front yard requirement of 7.5 meters down to 6 meters to allow for a uniform look in the subdivision and larger rear yards at the property known as 14 and 18 Sharon Place, which is legally described as lots 8 and 9, Block 2, Plan 53601 in the parish of Portage la Prairie.
Moved by Councillor Meyer, seconded by Councillor Espy. Any questions or comments from anyone? All those in favor? And that is carried. We'll move into Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Worship. Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee has no report at this point in the meeting.
Thank you. City Planning and Economic Development Committee. Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. City Planning and Economic Development Committee has nothing to report.
Thank you. Community Services Committee. Councillor Espy.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Community Services Committee has nothing to report at this part of the meeting.
Thank you. Waterworks Committee. Councillor Porter. Just push your thing down here.
Thank you, Your Worship. Waterworks has nothing to report. Thank you.
Thank you. And right into Transportation Committee, Councillor Porter.
Thank you again, Your Worship. Transportation has nothing to report till further down in the meeting.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Your Worship. Public Safety Committee has nothing to report in this portion of the meeting.
Thank you. We have no deferred business. We will move into new business. We have our first item, our 2026 budget speech, Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee, Councillor Massey.
Thank you very much, Your Worship, and fellow members of Council, and of course our administrative team, and most importantly, the citizens of Portage la Prairie. It is my pleasure as Chair of the Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee to present to you the 2026 City of Portage la Prairie budget. The budget positions the city to maintain strong service levels while continuing to advance Council's priorities for growth, infrastructure renewal, and community investment. While 2026 is not an assessment year in Manitoba, updated assessment information provided by the province reflects ongoing development within our community. This growth supports a modest tax increase that allows the city to manage rising operating pressures without reducing services, ensuring residents continue to receive reliable and responsive municipal programs. In 2026, residents will see continued progress on major initiatives that strengthen transportation networks, enhance public safety, improve recreational spaces, and advance long-term water and wastewater infrastructure needs. The budget also includes the administrative and project delivery capacity needed to ensure these initiatives move forward effectively. As Portage la Prairie continues to grow, this approach helps the city remain responsive to emerging needs while preparing for future demands on infrastructure and services. These investments reflect Council's strategic plan, focusing on quality of life, community safety, and enabling planned growth. Investing in infrastructure, the largest and most significant capital commitment continues to be the water treatment plant upgrade and expansion. Tendering and contract award are planned for 2026, with construction to follow. This project has an estimated capital cost of approximately $117.9 million and will modernize the city's water treatment capacity while improving reliability. The city has secured $40 million funding agreement with the Manitoba Water Services Board and has requested additional matching funds. Approval for related debt borrowing has also been received. This investment reflects Council's strategic plan commitment to continued investment in our utility infrastructure. Work is also progressing on the water pollution control facility as the city reviews the best procurement method for the larger nutrient removal upgrade. As that work continues, certain components of the project may move forward independently, such as the decommissioning of older equipment and other improvements that support the long-term upgrade. The replacement of the ultraviolet disinfection system is a priority for the facility. The existing ultraviolet system is no longer supported by the manufacturer and replacement parts are not available, making an upgrade necessary. The total cost of ultraviolet replacement is $2 million. Approximately $1.47 million will be funded through the Investing in Canada infrastructure program, with the remaining amount funded through the city's nutrient removal reserve. Advancing this work now addresses an urgent operational need, improves system reliability, and ensures critical equipment is replaced as planning continues for the broader upgrade. Construction will also begin on Gladys Cook Way. This new connection will provide direct access to Lakeview development and support continued growth in the southeast part of our community. The project includes the construction of the road and the intersection that will link to River Road. Funding from the province of Manitoba's strategic infrastructure basket will support the project, and the remaining costs will be covered through city reserves, allowing the work to move forward without affecting municipal tax levels, and supporting Council's strategic plan commitment to sustain neighborhood growth. Funding of $165,000 has been allocated to replace the West End welcome sign that was removed during the construction. I know a lot of councillors have been asked about this by our community residents. The project includes the construction and installation of a new sign along with consulting services to support its design and to develop a broader approach to community signage. This investment will enhance the western entrance to the community and support consistent and welcoming signage across the city. Once again, aligning with our strategic direction to showcase our community. In 2026, the city continues implementation of its multi-year plan for roadway infrastructure investment. Council is once again allocating, this is important, an additional $700,000 from the Canadian Community Building Fund for road renewals, bringing the total roadway infrastructure allocation to approximately $1.4 million, consistent with 2025 levels and achieved without, once again, increasing taxes. This continued investment supports resurfacing, reconstruction, and essential maintenance, allowing the city to address aging roadways and maintain safe, reliable transportation routes. By using the Canadian Community Building Fund to finance the increased allocation, the city is able to sustain this enhanced level of roadwork without placing any additional burden on our local taxpayers, ensuring long-term infrastructure needs are met in a financially responsible manner. I just want to say, this really is going to make our roadway system. There's going to be a lot of work this summer again, lots of detours, but at the end we'll have a more beautiful road network and we'll address the constant thawing and freezing we have been getting, which is going to be, I think, a reality for many years in Portage la Prairie and other areas. So Council has taken this multi-year approach and doubled our road budget. Continuing with the city's multi-year strategies, Council is maintaining its commitment to enhancing parks and public spaces across Portage la Prairie. In 2026, $120,000 is being invested in green space improvements. Aligned with the Green Space Investment Priority Plan, these funds will support upgrades to playgrounds at Provista, 9th Street Northwest, and Island Park. These updates will refresh aging play structures, improve safety, and ensure these well-used community spaces remain welcoming and accessible for families. These projects directly align with our strategic plan priority to enhance recreational opportunities and green spaces. This continued investment strengthens the city's recreational network and supports the long-term goal of creating vibrant, high-quality outdoor spaces as our community grows. And something that's not in the budget but is completed that we're going to celebrate shortly is the opening of Coco Platts Recreation Center, and that's going to be a great day for our community coming up shortly. Beautification of our community. The city continues to invest in projects that enhance visual appeal and community pride. Ongoing investments in recreation areas, Crescent Lake, and neighborhood improvements support the city's strategic initiatives and help create a welcoming and attractive public spaces for residents and visitors. This work aligns with Council's strategic plan priority to continue investing in beautification projects to showcase our community. And isn't it beautiful what we have in Portage la Prairie? It's looking so beautiful. Our lights, our murals. This is a big priority, and I think we've done a lot to make our city, and I hear it all the time, that our city is really looking very beautiful, and that's a great credit to all of us. Other capital projects. The 2026 budget also includes several capital investments that support the ongoing renewal of city assets. These include upgrades to city buildings, replacement of aging trucks and loaders, improvements to lighting and security systems, and facility repairs across multiple sites. These investments ensure that the city infrastructure remains safe, functional, and reliable. They also help reduce future maintenance costs by addressing needs before they become more complex or expensive. This work supports the city's commitment to maintaining high-quality municipal facilities and equipment throughout the community. The replacement of the fire rescue and command vehicle is underway after Council awarded the RFP in December of 2024. This specialized apparatus has an estimated cost of $1.26 million, and production typically takes 18 to 24 months. The city paid $700,000 in 2024, and the remaining $562,000 is scheduled for 2026, which will complete the purchase. The city will purchase 2 aquatic harvesters at an estimated cost of $480,000 as part of the Crescent Lake Vegetation Management Strategy. This investment supports ongoing work to maintain water quality and manage vegetation growth in Crescent Lake. To operate this equipment, the budget includes $66,000 for a seasonal staff member and for the equipment rentals needed to transport and manage the vegetation that is removed. These additions allow the city to begin this program while maintaining existing service levels. The Community Safety Office has grown significantly and now requires space that better supports its daily operations. The city is acquiring a building to meet these needs, funded through existing reserves, with no impact, once again, on municipal tax levels. As the program has expanded, so have its administrative requirements. To support this work, the budget includes a CSO administrative clerk at an estimated annual cost of $79,500. The budget also provides $20,000 for a body camera system and for the community safety officers. This system will support safety, transparency, training, and liability reduction. In addition, $7,000 has been allocated for an in-car laptop to give officers mobile access to bylaws, reports, and records, improving efficiency and reducing the need for office trips. These investments strengthen the program's capacity and support Council's strategic priority to enhance community safety and well-being. Within the utility fund, the budget includes a utility administrative clerk to provide consistent on-site support at the utility building. Administrative coverage is currently split across multiple facilities, which results in delays and requires technical staff to complete administrative tasks that take time away from core operations. This position will improve workflow, support timely processing of documentation and data, and strengthen overall departmental efficiency. The position will have an estimated annual cost of $79,500 and is supported within the existing utility rates. Community partnerships and grants. The city continues to partner with a wide range of organizations that contribute to local programs, recreation, arts, culture, and social supports. For 2026, a total of $2.57 million is allocated across community grants, partnerships, organizations, and city committees. This includes support for agencies that provide essential services to residents, such as the First Presbyterian Soup Kitchen and the Highway Community Kitchen, both of which play an important role in addressing food insecurity in our community. These investments, along with funding to organizations providing youth programming, arts and cultural opportunities, senior supports, public safety services, and community development initiatives, reflect Council's continued commitment to strengthen quality of life across Portage la Prairie. And I would just say, as a council, we are very supportive of these grants because we believe these programs and services make our city more compassionate, more humane, and more just for our residents, which we all take a lot of pride in helping our residents. The budget summary. In summary, the 2026 budget includes a general fund net operating budget of $25.6 million, with $14.8 million generated through tax revenue and a capital budget of $7.1 million. On the utility side, a utility fund net operating budget of $19.4 million and a capital budget of $106.9 million. This proposed budget will result in an increase of 3.21% to property owners' municipal taxes. The year-over-year increase for a residential property with an assessed value of $250,000 and no change in assessment is $72 annually, which is approximately $6 a month for all the things that I've talked about so far. $6 per month. The next step in our 2026 budget process is to await the Portage la Prairie School Division's budget, which will be used to finalize our financial plan and determine the total mill rate. We expect to complete our 2026 financial plan by April. Following a public hearing to approve the document, it will be submitted to the province. Your tax bill will be mailed by early June. Additionally, we will provide various tools on the city's website to help you calculate your 2026 taxes in advance. The budget speech will be posted on the city's website in the coming days. In conclusion, I am proud of the collaborative effort between city administration and city council in crafting a forward-thinking budget that continues to, number one, foster sustainable growth through the development of vibrant neighborhoods. Number two, enhance recreational and cultural opportunities, green spaces, and expand our active transportation network. Three, invest in community safety and well-being. Four, strengthens infrastructure to drive economic investment in our community. And five, supports beautification projects that showcase the pride that we have in our community of Portage la Prairie. And most importantly, ensures our budget is mindful of our citizens' ability to pay. Again, I want to thank my fellow council members and Mayor Knox for your leadership. I continue to be amazed at your passion for our community. It's so beautiful to work with my council colleagues on the budgets that we've done. And your passion for our community shows up in your deliberations, in the decisions you make. I want to thank our administrative team for giving us the information, the research, the options, and all the information we need to make the best decisions for our community. I look forward to great things between now and 2026, which is the end of our term as a council. But I am so proud of what we have done in our budgets. We have moved the needle every budget in our strategic plan. And I'm very proud to say, all of us that call this place our home, Portage la Prairie, it's a place that all of Portagers will be very proud of. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Massey. Well done. Any questions or comments from anyone? No? Okay. The next item of new Councillor Massey, back to you.
Thank you, Your Worship. I won't go in through the details of this. You heard the budget speech, so I would just move that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approve the 2026 City of Portage la Prairie budget as presented.
Moved by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Meyer. Now any questions or comments from anyone? All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. Okay, next item of new business is Community Safety Office, Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Worship and colleagues. In your package tonight, we have the issue of the Community Safety Office facility purchase. As you know, administration is seeking council approval to purchase 14 Tupper Street South, the former Portage Mutual building, to house the Community Safety Officer program and to approve the proposed funding for the acquisition and related transition costs. And as you know, and it was mentioned in the budget speech, the Community Safety Officer program has expanded significantly since it began, both in our staffing levels, the services that's provided, and the program currently operates out of a leased space, with the lease set to expire in June of 2026. This space is no longer sufficient to meet operational needs and limits the program's ability to function efficiently. The existing facility is undersized and presents ongoing operational challenges. Storage space is limited and the site does not adequately support daily operations. Parking capacity is also constrained, which requires one community safety officer vehicle to be parked at City Hall. These pressures will continue to increase as the program grows, particularly if additional staff are added. Administration has identified 14 Tupper Street South the former Portage Mutual building as an appropriate long-term solution. Purchasing this building would provide the city with a permanent facility that meets current needs while allowing for future growth. Ownership would also build equity and strengthen our city's long-term asset base rather than continuing to rely on leased space. The size, configuration, and the downtown location of the building offer important operational benefits. Its proximity to City Hall supports efficient coordination with other municipal services and provides flexibility should additional space be required in the future. Taken together, the approaching June 2026 lease expiry, the limitations of the current space, and the availability of a suitable long-term facility support the need for a timely decision. Proceeding with the purchase now provides cost certainty, reduces the risk of short-term leasing arrangements, and positions the city to support the Community Safety Officer program on a sustainable basis. And to support this acquisition, administration is requesting up to $700,000 from the infrastructure reserve. This funding will cover the purchase of the building as well as necessary transition expenses related to moving the Community Safety Officer program into the new space and preparing the facility for operational use. Using the infrastructure reserve allows the city to invest in long-term asset without impacting the operating budget, while ensuring continuity of essential public safety services ahead of the June 2026 lease expiry. Therefore, I would recommend that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approve the purchase of the property located at 14 Tupper Street South, and that up to $700,000 be allocated from the Infrastructure Reserve to fund the purchase of the property and the associated transition expenses.
Moved by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Meyer. Any questions or comments from anyone? Councillor Doyle?
Thank you, Your Worship. Just as Chair of Public Safety, I just think the timing was perfect on this. This is a great location with an expanding program like our CSO program currently is. It's just going to give us the ability to increase our level of function, and the proximity to City Hall is just a no-brainer for me. So I will be supporting this.
Thank you. Councillor Meyer?
Thank you, Your Worship. And echoing Councillor Doyle's words there, I also feel having a brick and mortar in a permanent position now that this program, or that this program has expanded beyond its original intent to where I see it going into the future, is only going to be an asset. As my chair of economic development, we know that a safe community is a happy community, and I think this is just a real asset for the community. So I too will be supporting the motion.
Thank you. Councillor Porter?
Thank you, Worship. I'm going to support this as well. It just makes sense. It's right across from City Hall. It's close proximity that we can work together, share spaces if needed in the future as the city grows. And so probably will City Hall. So parking is perfect. It's still in the downtown area. It's I believe that I truly believe in that in this case it makes sense to invest in this building rather than leasing. I'm thinking community safety program is going to be around for quite a while. Thank you, Worship.
Thank you. I'll just comment too, is I think this has been a very well-maintained property over time, and I think that that's important too, that we're not purchasing an asset that is going to take a lot of dollars to get functioning, so that is a positive as well. All those in favor? And that is carried. Okay, next item of new business is first reading of bylaw 26-8786, amendment to water and sewer rates bylaw 20-8710. Finance, Legislative and Property Committee, Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship and colleagues. The issue tonight is to seek Council's consideration and first reading of amending bylaw number 26-8786, which amends Schedule A, Clause 5 of Water and Sewer Rates bylaw number 20-8710 as directed by the Public Utilities Board in Board Order number 4/26. The city applied to the Public Utilities Board to review and vary Order number 139/25. That application included a request to adjust the timing of the Saskatchewan Avenue West project debenture servicing surcharge so that its implementation would align with revised utility rates currently under review. In PUB Order Number 4/26, the Board approved the postponement of the Saskatchewan Avenue West project debenture servicing surcharge to coincide with the implementation of revised water and wastewater rates. As part of the same order, the Board directed that the wording of Schedule A, Clause 5 be formally implemented through an amendment to Bylaw Number 20-8710. Amending the bylaw number 26-8786 implements this direction by deleting Clause 5 of Schedule A to Bylaw number 20-8710 and replacing it with wording approved by the Public Utilities Board. The amendment does not introduce new billing practices and does not result in changes to utility rates or charges. Its purpose is to ensure that bylaw number 20-8710 reflects wording approved by Council and the Public Utilities Board, including provisions related to billing administration and the timing of surcharge implementation. Therefore, I would move that amending bylaw number 26-8786, being a bylaw of the City of Portage la Prairie, to amend bylaw number 20-8710 be given first reading.
Moved by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Meyer. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. Okay, next item of new business is our annual appointment of Municipal Noxious Weeds Inspector and Sub-Inspectors. Community Services Committee, Councillor Espy.
Thank you, Your Worship. It's always an exciting time when we get to do this
Exciting.
report to council.
Who's it going to be?
Well, it is a couple of different names this time around, so there is some change here. Of course, the Municipal Noxious Weeds Inspector and or Sub-Inspectors are to be appointed annually in accordance with the Noxious Weeds Act. It is a requirement of the Noxious Weeds Act that every municipality by March 1st appoint a Municipal Noxious Weeds Inspector and or Sub-Inspectors and notify the Director, Primary Agriculture Branch of Manitoba Primary Agriculture Branch of Manitoba Agriculture of the appointments. These appointees carry out the provisions of the Noxious Weeds Act. Paul Zeisman, Superintendent of Public Works, will be appointed the city's inspector for 2026, and Kyle Troop will be appointed Sub-Inspector. It is the recommendation that in accordance with Section 11 of the Noxious Weeds Act, Council of the City of Portage la Prairie appoint Paul Zeisman as the city's Noxious Weeds Inspector for 2026 and Kyle Troop as Sub-Inspector, and further that the notice of these appointments be conveyed to Manitoba Agriculture, and I so move.
Moved by Councillor Espy, seconded by Councillor Doyle. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? And that's carried. Congratulations to Mr. Zeisman and Mr. Troop. Okay, next item of new business, the 2025 Solid Waste Annual Report for information only. Transportation Committee, Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Your Worship. The city funds and operates several solid waste programs, including the residential solid waste collection, curbside recycling, curbside yard waste collection, bulky waste collection, composite, tree burning site, hazardous household waste disposal, electronic waste disposal, and the clean team. 986,531 kilograms, or approximately 76 kilograms per person of residential recyclable waste material was diverted from the landfill. New this year, the city started a program for bulky waste pickup, which occurs 4 times a year: January, April, July, and September. December 2025 bulky waste pickup program collected approximately 13,000 kilograms of waste. The curbside yard waste program saw approximately 9,963 bags, or 60,104 kilograms of compostable yard waste being picked up in May and October. This is down from 12,799 bags, or 77,214 kilograms in 2024. During the Christmas tree pickup program, a total of 49 trees, approximately 178 kilograms, were recycled, and approximately 192,178 kilograms of tree waste was taken to the burn site throughout the year. The Portage and District Recycling, Inc. accepts all designated household hazardous waste and e-waste. Total of all residential solid waste, including garbage recyclables, yard waste, trees for 2025 was 5,079 tons, with 1,509 tons being diverted from the landfill. The diversion rate for residential solid waste was 31.5%. And attached, you'll see the diversion report, and it'll give it month by month between the waste
You
collection.
probably don't have to give it month by month.
No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
And it's just the waste collection, the recyclables, the yard waste, the trees, and the percent diverted. And that's it. That's all. That is all I have to report. And I believe it was just a little up a percent, I guess, from 2024 report. And that's my report.
Thank you. I do have a question. Just on this bulky waste pickup. So it says the new times are January, April, July, and September. And then it said December's bulky waste pickup program collected. So was that the total, or was that an old time that we used to do it in December and now there won't be?
Actually, the waste was collected somewhat in January, but most of it was collected in December, actually. So it ended in January, but started in December. So it's a little bit confusing.
Oh, so it kind of does that both. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Okay, next item of new business, the RCMP School Liaison Agreement Renewal, Public Safety, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Your Worship. The issue at hand this evening is to whether or not to renew the RCMP School Liaison Agreement between the City of Portage la Prairie and the Portage la Prairie School Division. In 2011, the federal government began a program to bring RCMP officers into the school system. One full-time position was assigned in addition to the existing .5 position to the Portage la Prairie School Division in 2012. When federal funding ended in 2015, the city and the school division entered into an agreement to jointly fund one liaison position. The latest agreement expired on December 31st of 2025, and the administration is recommending that the parties enter a new agreement on a 3-year term. No material changes have been made to the proposed agreement compared to previous versions. The program, as we know, has been very successful to date. Relationships have been built between officers and students, and awareness programs have been established. Educators feel that the presence of a police officer in the school has allowed all of the students to build better relationships with the police and develop programs to curb student-related crime and issues. The total annual cost of one RCMP school liaison position at this time is $163,300 based on the RCMP's current yearly policing costs, and this amount would be adjusted annually to reflect current costs. It is the recommended resolution that, and I so move, that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie approve a 3-year agreement between the city and the Portage School Division for the funding of one full-time RCMP employee, with each party responsible for 50% of that cost, and that the mayor and the city manager be authorized to sign the agreement on behalf of the city. And I so move.
Moved by Councillor Doyle, seconded by Councillor Massey. Any questions or comments from anyone? Councillor Doyle?
I have a comment. We've all seen how important this position is, and not only is it important from the lens of public safety, but also from the relationship building aspect between our youth and the RCMP. And from my chair, this is a must, and I'll be supporting this resolution. I would also encourage other councils within our region to look at this partnership between our city and the school division and understand that this is a benefit to all students, not just the ones from our city, but students from all across our region who use our schools within our division. And we would be grateful for all to be involved in this important program. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. Councillor Meyer?
Thank you, Your Worship, and as well, again, echoing Councillor Doyle's comments. Being one of the individuals that involved in this program back in 2012, albeit from a different position at that time, I supported it fully then, and I've kind of watched the program over the last, now I guess we're going on 14 years. To this date, I've supported it every year. I strongly support it now for those very reasons. It's not about enforcement, it's about relationship building and the time that they spend in all of the school divisions within our region. And I think every dollar that's spent on it is just well spent. So for that reason alone, I would be supporting this for another 3-year term.
Thank you. Okay. No other questions? All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. We have no old business, so I will adjourn council at 6:41 p.m. and we'll move right into committee. We'll call committee to order at 6:41 p.m. Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee, Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship. Finance, Legislative, and Property Committee has no report in committee.
Thank you. City Planning and Economic Development Committee, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. City Planning and Economic Development has nothing to report in committee.
Thank you. Community Services Committee, Councillor Espy.
Thank you, Worship. Right off the top, I'd like to remind everyone that the grand opening of the Cocoa Platts Community Recreation Club is being held on February 22nd at 2 p.m. And through your worship, I will first call upon our youth counselor.
Thank you, Your Worship. So a group of the West Park student body, they just wanted to show their appreciation for the council, so they wrote cards for the council. They also provided donuts, which will be after the meeting, I guess.
It's very kind. Thank you. Councillor Espy? Yeah, we love.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to call upon Councillor Massey for an item related to community services.
Thank you, Councillor Espy. Your Worship. A couple of items. I attended, as a number of you did, on January 21. Mayor Knox raised the flag for mental health for youth. The Bell Let's Talk initiative. I was very pleased to be there to see that highlighted in our community. January 28th, I chipped in, not as good as Mayor Knox, but I chipped in at the library, story time, with the number of youth there at our library, and two things. One, it's a tough crowd at times. They ask you tough questions, but it was just great to see our library. Our new director was there, and to see the great work our library is doing. So I was pleased to sub in for Mayor Knox at that event. Also attended as many of you did, the Central Plains Cancer Hearts on Fire relay with my council colleagues, Porter, Meyer, Espy, and Doyle. I want to thank all of you for not embarrassing me in that, because I was struggling to keep up with your walking, but it was great.
Wasn't a race.
No, it wasn't a race. So I just like to stroll very nicely, but but it was a great event, and you all strolled. But thank you. I know Mayor Knox, in your capacity as executive director there, was a great event, and I know it's a chance just to talk to one another as you're walking and get exercise. So great. I attended on February 7th. I attended a really great event, and I must say it was the Pink Ladies breast awareness campaign and dinner. Just a great event. They raised estimate $35,000. I was there as a chair of the Portage Foundation, so they presented me with that check. If you go on Facebook, you'll see me with 35 other women behind me, and just the power that they bring to that. And one of the things I learned a lot about breast cancer, but I also heard the stories of two women, and it was amazing what they go through. And I think it's just it was an eye-opener for me, as to hear that. So a great shout out to the Pink Ladies. They did a fantastic job. And this morning I had the privilege of going to West Park School and reading to some more kids and they were very, very good. We had 3 books, and once again, it was a great time. It's just one little story. The one child asked me, they had a little question answer, and said, "Your name's Joe, but you're not Joe Biden." I swear to God, that's what he said. So I said, "No, I'm Joe Massey," but just it's amazing what they ask you. And so anyway, it was great to be there and support a great place, school of West Park School. So that's my report, Your Worship.
Thank you.
That concludes my report, Your Worship.
Thank you. Waterworks Committee, Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Your Worship. Waterworks has nothing to report.
Thank you. Transportation Committee, Councillor Porter.
And in Transportation Committee, I have nothing to report as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Worship.
Public Safety Committee, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Your Worship. Public Safety Committee has nothing to report this evening.
Thank you. Thank you. I just have a couple of things. I got to kick off the Pink Ladies ride in the morning, or it wasn't actually a ride, it was a walk. This was the second time. They do this event every 2 years, and Mother Nature has not been kind to them with their snowmobiling, but the previous 2 years ago, they did a horse and hayride. But this year they walked right down Saskatchewan Avenue with their pink signs and everything. And I believe possibly this new dollar amount put them over their $400,000 mark that they've raised for breast health in our region. And it's going to be their 10th ride 2 years from now. So it'll be exciting time. But like I said to them, it's when you have it's something that happens in this community, in our region all the time. It's when passionate people find something that excites them or know that they know it's a need and they work hard to do it. And Tammy Hammersley, for those of you who don't know her, she has been involved with this since the beginning, and so needs a little extra shout out. So congratulations to her. I won't talk too long on it because I don't like to give too much air to things like these, but I will acknowledge sitting at this table that Portage la Prairie does not tolerate hate, racism, any thing in that matter. We are working very hard to have a community where people have a sense of belonging, where they feel safe, and that it's an inclusive environment. And so I just wanted to publicly say that I know myself and my colleagues around this table do not support any of the incident that happened in our community today, and are quite disappointed and disheartened by it. So that is all I will give breath to that topic. And then on a positive note, Diane, who keeps reminding me, and I should have known this the other day because I got asked when I was at a school, was the city was incorporated on February 13th, 1907. So this Friday is our 119th birthday. So the donuts can be in our celebration of our birthday. So that's exciting. Yeah, well, no cake. Maybe next year. And then just to follow up on the reading too, I read at Yellow Quill School the other day, and I read to grade 3s and 4s, and I have a tendency to read one book and then just chat and let them ask questions. And the questions I had were on bail reform, whether restaurants in Portage la Prairie could give food poisoning, what we were going to do with the big empty field at Southport, and I said, we got a plan, so that's exciting. So I just say to parents, if you do not think that your children are paying attention to the things you're talking about or listening to, they sure as heck are. And I met one little friend, his name was Mark, and he wanted me to make sure I told Mark Carney that I knew another Mark. So it was great. I love to read month. If nothing else, we will adjourn council at committee at 6:50 p.m. Have a good evening, everyone.